shall we? Yeah, this one is filling up nicely, as I say, and it should be a cracker. Under the lights here at Fir Park, it's Motherwell against Kilmarnock. Both sets of players onto the pitch doing the obligatory handshake. So let's cross over to our commentary team, shall we, for the first half of this one. It's Stephen McGinn, Stephen Craigan, and once again, good evening to Rob McLean.
Good evening, Jane. Thank you. Festive Friday football at Fir Park, a sentence fraught with danger apart from anything else. But that's what tonight is all about. Happy Christmas for the home team would mean 3 wins on the bounce. They've gone back-to-back a couple of times already this season. Can they go a step further and consolidate their position at 4th in the Premiership? Kilmarnock are playing catch-up, and it is strange, even at this stage of the season, to see them 8 points adrift of Motherwell in the table. Red cards aren't helping, of course, and you heard Martin touching on Rowan there when he discussed the subject with Derek McInnes pre-match. And of course, as recently as last weekend when Robbie Dees was red carded very early on, and Kilmarnock had to dig in with their 10 men to get the win they so badly wanted. Both teams on the back of a Premiership win. Motherwell having won that amazing 4-3 game against Dundee United. Just about all set to go here. 1 change for Motherwell and 3 for Kilmarnock, including Kieran O'Hara back in goal. Robbie McCrory is on the bench. So David Dickinson in charge of VAR, and Chris Graham is the on-field man in charge. There's his whistle, and we are underway under the lights at Fir Park as the Premiership weekend begins. And what better way to begin it for these two than with a 3-pointer, as the first free kick is conceded, and Motherwell will have an early chance to get the ball into the box. The free kick 10 yards in from the touchline, right-hand side. So this could be an early threat against Kilmarnock. It's going to be Andy Halliday to swing it into a great area. The flashing header and a flying save. But the flag had gone up for offside. It wouldn't have counted. Kieran O'Hara didn't know anything about that. It was some save.
I have to say it was a great ball in. The pace on the ball makes it easy for the striker just to make contact. Was it Shane Blaney?
I think it was, yeah.
It was possibly Blaney. So when the pace is on the ball, Rob, all you've got to do is make contact with it and use that pace to go and put it towards goal. But a really good save from Kieran O'Hara back in for the starting 11 tonight. That'll do him a world of good.
Wouldn't have counted, but it was a great header. I think it was Blaney on the end of, as Craig says, a terrific delivery from Halliday. Right on the money that was. And yeah, that's a good start for O'Hara, who gets the nod over McCrory in goal as a free kick this time goes Kilmarnock's way. And Stephen McGinn, that's a really positive start from the home team.
Yeah, it's how you want to start a game, under the lights, good crowd Friday night, you get after the away team. I was just looking at how Kilmarnock are going to set up. It looks as if they've gone with a full front three, rotating at times to drop in on Lennon Miller when he's looking to get on the ball, but they've certainly showed the hand in terms of coming here to try and win the game.
Danny Armstrong is among the subs, and were things not to work out in terms of the shape Kilmarnock are in, and always that option to change things around. In comes the first Kilmarnock cross ball into the Motherwell box, and defended pretty solidly by the home team.
And I think that's the way Kilmarnock are going to go, Rob. It's going to be man for man, Motherwell's defenders against Kilmarnock's attackers, which should make it for an open game.
Tony Watt involved in the attacking move. Andy Halliday was setting himself for a shot at goal. The ball nicked off his toes. At the moment, it has all the ingredients to be a pretty entertaining encounter, this one, as the third free kick of the evening is awarded just about on the halfway line.
Also, I just think there's so many little individual battles all over the pitch. Now, Marvin Collette has boundless energy down this right-hand side for Motherwell, and Fraser Murray will want to go the other way as well. So There's a duel there, Steve Seddon against Brad Lyons on the other side, wide players, energy, want to get up and down the touchline. So whoever can get the better of their opponent will give their team a foothold in the game.
So another set piece chance, this time just about on the halfway line for Motherwell. And it's Lennon Miller who angles it into the box, and Daba's headed away. And again, a blast of the referee's whistle, this time for a bit of grappling while the ball was in the air. A free kick to Kilmarnock.
I think Stephen's talking about duels. The big one for me is if Bruce Anderson is going to be dropping in and Lennon Miller, Kilmarnock are going to look to hit Vassell and Watkins. And for me, probably as a former midfielder, I know second balls are a cliche, but that is going to be a key one. Can Lennon Miller pick up the second ball, and can he get his head up and play, or are they going to be the man for man, stop him getting on the ball and getting his head up?
Flicked on by Tony Watt, cleared by Joe Wright. Motherwell looking to get the ball on the deck, and finally it's Andy Halliday who knocks it back from halfway to Aston Oxborough. Finally it is on the grass, and Dan Casey rolls it across to Shane Blaney. Steve Seddon wide left for Motherwell, and Coletta hugging the touchline on the other side. Casey again, halfway line. Coletta coming back towards them, then setting off down the side. Stamatolopoulos getting involved, but it's loose from Motherwell, given away. Fraser Murray looking to turn on the afterburners down the left side. The ball just getting away from him and going out of play in the end, but giving a little glimmer of what he's capable of down the left flank for Kilmarnock.
That's the first introduction, isn't it? Marvin Coletta a little bit heavy with his touch, and Fraser Murray right onto it. So he's going to have to be careful. Coletta.
Casey's throw helped on. And Ndaba looking to launch it down the touchline. Out of play it goes for a throw-in. What Motherwell don't have is any great consistency this season. Their last 8 games, they've won 4 and they've lost 4. But it does mean that they're picking up plenty of points. They're on 25. 3 tonight would take them to within 4 of Rangers, even though they've played a couple of games more. So that tells you about the start to the season they've had. Marley Watkins under pressure, and the ball, when it went loose, tidied up by Ndaba, back to O'Hara, and he fires it forward, looking for the head of Vassell. And up and under from Lennon Miller. It's not often you use that phrase. And another offside, another flag goes up, and it has been pretty much stop-start with the emphasis on stop so far.
I think both teams are just trying to work out where their spare men are, what kind of system they're playing against. Kilmarnock have got 3 centre forwards, but I think they're just running about trying to find space. There's no real structure to what they're trying to do, so that's probably upsetting Motherwell a little bit, because they would rather just say, that's my man, that's who I'm going to play against. So it's a little bit different.
Halliday taking his eye off it on the halfway line, and possession regained by Ndaba for Kilmarnock. Fires one forward, chested down for Vassell. Strong enough to hold off the first challenge, not the second, but Chris Graham didn't like the second challenge, and he's given a free kick, and it's 30 yards out right in front of goal.
It comes from brilliant awareness from Bruce Anderson. No, Shane Blaney's he's thought about going with him. Bruce Anderson's noticed he's not came the whole way. He's able to chest it down to Vassell, and he's won a free kick in a really dangerous position.
We tend to think that would usually be the other way around, wouldn't you? Vassell chesting it and Bruce Anderson playing off him, but because Derek's given him that freedom to rotate and go and find a little bit of space, it's all about making sure the 3 of you are in close proximity when the ball goes up.
Fraser Murray over the ball, takes it short to Polworth, out to Lyons. This cross headed away by Seddon, and the ball comes back to him, fired it forward. Lovely touch from Stamatolopoulos, who looked to release Coletta down the right-hand side. It's an important cutout for Kilmarnock. Now they have the ball, left side with the captain, Vassell. Held up by Murray, back it goes to Ndaba. Polworth, the former Motherwell player, on the halfway line, and they just shifted across right side for Lions. A good ball down the side. In the end, Kilmarnock couldn't really get control of it. It bounces behind for the goal kick.
I think that was brilliant defending by Liam Gordon, because Shane Blaney gets caught onto the ball. Ball goes over his head. The minute as a defender, the ball goes over your head, it's your teammate beside you who has to go and fill that gap and has to go and make the tackle. Marley Watkins, if it had been another 10 or 15 yards, he may have got ahead of Liam Gordon, but his positioning made the difference.
He's not quite got his bearings yet, Shane Blaney, and Kilmarnock can do that to you. They want you to bump, they want the ball to be bouncing, and you're not quite sure if you're going the whole way or if you're being aggressive with the first one. So Liam Gordon just used experience and talk him through it.
Oxborough hammers the ball downfield. It was Wright who won the header. No great flow or fluency to the game so far, but a nice little bit of skill from Coletta. He cuts inside and he's taken out by Polworth. Good play from the Motherwell wide man, and that's the best we've seen of him so far.
I have to say, when I first saw him playing, Rob, I was a bit concerned of why he was here. He just looked as if he couldn't find his bearings on the pitch, but eventually he's got himself into the team. Stephen O'Donnell found himself injured. I know Tavares has played a couple of games, but the last couple of games he's been in, he's actually done okay. He's great athleticism. He's clearly got quick feet, but he's a young man trying to make his way in the game, so that was certainly a good piece of skill. Just
20 on loan from Wolves, looking to make an impression here. So the free kick is about 10 yards inside the Kilmarnock half. Lennon Miller is one possibility, and it is Miller who takes it. It's a low effort. It's not well defended though, and it almost coughed up an opportunity for Motherwell, unable to grasp it, and the flag was up anyway.
Kilmarnock's offside line has been absolutely brilliant from the free kicks. They're so brave with it, and nobody's breaking line, and they've caught Motherwell offside 3 times from really dangerous free kicks.
Shot from Vassell, 25 yards out, blocked. Now Fraser Murray jinking his way to get a half yard. It's a great ball in. Motherwell get it clear. It was played in with so much pace by Murray, it was difficult to defend. Here he goes again, encouraged to try same again. The glancing header away. Brad Lyons has it, right hand side of the pitch. Rolled back to right. Watson's layoff. Lyons again into the box. Well, Polworth was screaming alongside him for a square pass. Now Ndaba and Murray again with a chance to have a go at Coletta. Jinking again towards the byline. Coletta blocks it this time, but it's a really good passage of play from Kilmarnock, and Fraser Murray was the headline act.
Yeah, it certainly was. I said that was a battle to keep an eye on. Fraser Murray in the last 5 or 6 minutes has got the better of Marvin Coletta. But you can tell by the body language, the mentality, the sharpness of Kilmarnock. That win last weekend has done them a world of good.
Corner kick left hand side for Kilmarnock, 0-0 at Fir Park. Murray swings it in, right footed, good delivery. As good with the right as he was with the left. Kilmarnock still retain possession. Ndaba on the right foot, in swinging cross ball. Came off a Motherwell head and bounced down and into the gloves of Aston Oxborough. If you thought the commentary went quiet a few moments ago, that was because the lead came out of my microphone. Quite a few people have threatened to do that over the years. I think it was an accidental one this time. But you missed nothing at the time, and we're heading towards 13 minutes and 0-0 at Fir Park. Friday night football, Motherwell against Kilmarnock in the Premiership. 3 games tomorrow, 2 on Sunday in the top flight, and of course it's Queen's Park against Wraith Rovers tonight in the Championship, so we'll keep you across what happens there as well. That one's live, of course, on BBC Scotland. And Ndaba making a meal of trying to clear the ball for Kilmarnock, helped out by Murray. Back it comes from Lennon Miller. The ball goes airborne, and Dave Watson winning the header. Then it's Vassell scrapping for it in his usual fashion. It's pretty scrappy stuff at the moment, and it all ends with a ball lumped down the pitch by Kilmarnock and all the way through to Aston Oxborough.
This can happen in the Scottish Premiership when teams go with similar formations and just go man for man. There's a lot of man for man all over the pitch, and they're just cancelling each other out. There's not a lot of fluence in the game. No one's managed to put their foot in the ball and dictate the game or give the team foothold in the game. It's just balls forward and second balls and scraps. Sometimes you have to earn your space. You've got to earn the right to play in the game, and after 14 minutes both sides are still trying to do that.
Anyone fancy another offside flag? Plenty of them, Stephen, so far. It's been pretty frustrating, hasn't it, the constant disruptions?
Yeah, between fouls and offsides, it has felt like that. I think Kilmarnock will be happier with the start. I think even the last we spoke about Lennon Miller and importance to Motherwell in terms of getting his foot in the ball. He's just helping things on. He's really not getting time to get his head up. But I think as a away team, I think Kilmarnock will be really happy with how the first 15 minutes have gone.
Joe Wright playing it wide to Brad Lyons for Kilmarnock, and now they're switching it across towards the other side, and Coriandaba rolled forward down the line for Polworth, who knows his surroundings here pretty well. Back with Mayo again, Mayo on right. No Robbie Dees, of course, suspended. No Stuart Finlay, who's been a big miss defensively, and they've shipped a lot of goals of Derek McInnes' team, and that's not typical of a Derek McInnes team. And that's part of the struggle they've had so far this season. Lyons fires one forward again. More in hope than any great conviction that it was going to hit the target. Possession is being given back and forth constantly between these two teams. Casey just cushions a pass into the midfield area for Halliday, but it's gone all the way back again to Oxborough in goals. 15 goalless minutes at Fir Park. Rangers against Dundee tomorrow, Aberdeen, Hibs, Ross County, St Mirren are the three Saturday games in the Premiership. Dundee United, Celtic at 12 could be interesting, might not. At 12, another free kick here. Hearts St Johnstone is on Sunday as well, with already some question marks hanging over the head of Neil Critchley so early in his reign as head coach at Tynecastle. So another free kick close to the halfway line. Just that flying save from Kieran O'Hara so far in terms of goalmouth action, but even if that Blaney header had gone in, it wouldn't have counted because the offside flag, which we've become used to seeing, had gone up. So another chance here for Motherwell to make something happen from a set play. Halliday floats it into the box. A header which just sends the ball up in the air. Caletta rolls it back to the edge of the box. A great curling cross towards the back post. Well, it was saved by the goalkeeper, but it's gone in at the second attempt, and Motherwell go in front at Fir Park against Kilmarnock, and it looks as if Liam Gordon has scored his first goal of the season, and the Fir Park team could be on track to 3 wins on the bounce.
Well, initially from the free kick, rather than just trying to float it into the box, Andy Halliday went really long with it. So it meant Kilmarnock won the first header, but then it's all about picking up scraps, keeping the ball alive. It bobbles about. Lennon Miller puts it to the back post. I think Dan Casey has a header. It may come off the post. It ricochets in the middle of the 6-yard box. But who would have thought Liam Gordon would have a striker's instinct? But he does, and he just slams it into the back of the net. Do they deserve to be in front? Probably not. But sometimes when things are going your way, you find a way to go in front. They've managed to do that.
It was a really cheap free kick to give away. I don't think Watkins is ever getting to the ball. What I would have to question is, can Kieran O'Hara come and get it? The ball in from Lennon Miller, it's a clever one. He's looking for Dan Casey round the back, but I think it's in the air long enough for Kieran O'Hara to come and get it.
VAR is having a review of the action. It's a pretty brief review, thankfully, and certainly the Motherwell fans are relieved about that because the goal stands. Liam Gordon's first. for Motherwell, and 1-0 they lead against Kilmarnock. Stuart Kettle was talking pre-match about the desire to add another win to those against St Mirren a fortnight ago, and that 4-3 win against Dundee United last weekend. Well, they're on track here, but plenty of time for Kilmarnock to have their say as well. They won't be too happy about the way that goal was conceded. Now they have a free kick close to halfway, and they'll work it across the pitch again. Polworth in the central area, a step over from Watson, but Motherwell saw it coming. They intercept and now look to get some momentum down the left-hand side. Free kick is going to be given. Advantage was being played for a moment there, and now it's a cross on the right with Casey into the goal scorer Gordon. Neat layoff from Halliday, lofted forward by Miller. Motherwell now looking to ask more questions of Kilmarnock, wondering if they can extend this advantage and make life really difficult for Derek McInnes and his team.
I think Stuart will want a little bit more from the performance. Clearly, you win 1-0, you're happy, but there's just aspects of the performance that haven't been cohesive enough. I think they've been giving the ball up too cheaply. A little passage you play, the 3 or 4 passes, Andy Halliday gets a touch, Lennon Miller gets a touch. That's how they played on Saturday. That's what they will have to try and grow into as the game progresses.
The ball out for a throw-in, right-hand side. Marvin Coletta to take this for the home team, who lead by a 1-0 against Kilmarnock. Defended well enough by Killie, get it away, but it's not sticking further forward for them. Back into the Kilmarnock box it goes, and Motherwell sensing the opportunity here just to keep the heat on for Kilmarnock.
Confusion there. I think the main stand linesman, I think Tony Watt was offside, and he's almost put his flag up as if it's going to be offside and took it down again. Both of Derek McInnes is absolutely raging at the non-committal flag, but play goes on. Yeah,
the indecision was final, wasn't it, from the assistant there, and it did have the players a little bit confused. Ndaba taking a while to get the ball under control before hooking it away. Halliday's header straight back from whence it came. And now Mayo to right across the back line for Kilmarnock, out to Brad Lyons on the right side as Motherwell press. O'Hara to Mayo, under pressure as he got the pass away to Ndaba. Up to Vassell, nice little turn from him, little shimmy, keeps it as he drives up to halfway and then lays the ball off to right. Lyons down the line. Polworth with a little spin in the midfield. Ndaba to Murray, hasn't seen the ball for a while, and he looked really dangerous early on when he did get possession, but it's good backtracking from Coletta, strong enough, quick enough, and nipping the ball away from Murray, who was opening up down the left-hand side again. It's gone across to the right with Lyons. Polworth again is the man in the middle.
Kilmarnock have sort of got more of the ball, Rob. You know, they're knocking the ball around. You're just waiting for someone in the Motherwell jersey to jump out of the slot, and then they can pick them off.
Nice little ball inside from Murray for Ndaba on the drive, but they lose it again. And now Tony Watt is scurrying forward down the right-hand side, but he doesn't get very far before the whistle goes against him. Free kick for the foul on Murray.
I think Kilmarnock are getting into good they're getting good possession, they're getting into a good shape. Brad Lyons is almost dropping like a right back, and Daba's going to left back, Fraser Murray's coming to left. Because they've got the 3 strikers also central, it's almost like, do we force a straight one? Because they're not really working high enough wide, especially down the right hand side.
Lyons with the cross ball in, stooping to head it away was Liam Gordon, the goal scorer. Did it well enough, and a series of passes now has of Motherwell on the attack. The ball fired forward, looking for Stamatolopoulos. But Killy have it again comfortably through. It went to O'Hara. Yeah, seeing plenty of possession, but not doing an awful lot to hurt Motherwell at the moment.
I think the problem Motherwell have, they're spending long spells without the ball. Then when they get it, they think they have to go and score a goal, and they're trying to force the ball forward. That example from Steve said, and he's running and trying to hit an incredible diagonal pass in behind. Sometimes just play another pass and build a little bit of momentum in the game.
Lewis Mayo to Coriandaba, right on the touchline, left-hand side for Kilmarnock. Difficult ball for Anderson, he couldn't control it, and again it just comes unstuck for Killy as they look to get it in the final third. Lyons into the middle for Polworth. And out it goes on the left-hand side. And it's going to be a Motherwell throw in. They lead here by a 1-0 on Sportsound, who will have you covered right across the weekend in the Scottish Premiership. It's a programme of 3 days this weekend. The pre-Christmas games, 3 tomorrow, 2 on Sunday. And Motherwell on track here tonight to get themselves a third win on the bounce. And already their back-to-back wins have got them up to 4th place in the Premiership. Motherwell winning another free kick given out on the left side.
It's not been a thing of beauty, has it? It's been a bit scrappy. It's okay when Kilmarnock have the ball at the back, but they're lacking a little bit of penetration, a little bit of imagination at the top end of the pitch, and it's making for a really scrappy watch.
Motherwell are struggling. I agree with Craigs that Motherwell are struggling to build up play instead of giving the ball away a lot. But what Kilmarnock are doing is they keep giving away cheap fouls, so they're letting Motherwell come into the box without actually having any good play.
Halliday's free kick doesn't get beyond Watson, and Dave Watson with a chance to get the ball forward. It was blocked. It's been pretty untidy, the game overall, and Kilmarnock really haven't been able to get anywhere near Aston Oxborough in the match so far. They trail by a 0-0. Liam Gordon with his first goal for the club. Motherwell looking to build something here. Lennon Miller just wanted a little bit more time than he was going to be given as he tried to deliver the pass. Now Kilmarnock on it. Polworth, halfway line. Fraser Murray screaming for it on the touchline, left-hand side. It'll be a real frustration for Denny McInnes that Fraser Murray's not seeing more of the ball, because he's looked the man most likely to do some damage for them here. Forward they go, Killy, but again it all fizzles out for them as they start to get anywhere near the Motherwell back line. Oxborough launches it forward. Tony Watt looks to flick it on for Stamatolopoulos. Back with Watt, and he rolls it wide for Coletta. But backtracking was Fraser Murray, and the pass just wasn't quite good enough, and Murray was able to play it off Coletta and behind for the goal kick. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 0 on BBC Radio Scotland. Forward goes Ndaba, well, for a moment, until he spun around and then headed back the way. Looking to keep the ball moving in the midfield is Polworth, and across it goes to the right-hand side. The possession stats are pretty encouraging for Kilmarnock, but they're not getting into dangerous areas with that possession. Polworth again. Joe Wright on the halfway line. Brad Lyons, right side. This time back to right, and it's a long ball, and it's a really poor one as well. Doesn't get his boot wrapped around it right, and it flies out on the far side for a throw-in. It's pretty uninspiring stuff, this.
Yeah, that was poor, and you know, Watkins made a good, he peeled on the diag, and Joe Wright almost thought about it, passed it to Brad Lyons, gets it back, and then his execution, I think he was just trying to flip one round the corner, and I think it just about went out the stand.
I think both teams have worked out, if they leaves the opposition centre-halves on the ball, they don't have the quality to go and pick off passes and step into midfield and make those passes into strikers' feet. It's all long and hopeful.
as we've said already. Not the beautiful game this, but Motherwell not really giving two jots about that at the moment, because they are in front by a goal to nil. It's the first league meeting of these two this season. The only time they've gone head-to-head this season was in the League Cup. That was in mid-August, and that one certainly went the distance. Motherwell winning after extra time thanks to Moses Ebiye, and it was a match in which Kilmarnock had a red card, funnily enough. 7 of them this season, which hasn't helped them. 7 red cards in 24 games is some stat. As the ball is played up to Anderson and the layoff doesn't come off. Stuttering stuff this from Kilmarnock. Motherwell haven't had to be wonderful to be in front in the game, and they look to create now, and it's a really good idea, a really good ball through, looking to spring Steve Seddon into the penalty box. Now he heads back. The pass had been a little bit shorter. He might just have gotten the end of that as he nicked into the box.
It was done as well, Rob. You could see Brad Lyons had dropped him.
Now Murray has the ball, left-hand side for Kilmarnock. Fraser Murray, Coletta again in his way. Polworth clips the ball into the box. Good header away by Liam Gordon, the goal scorer, doing some important defending, but Kilmarnock not really asking enough serious questions of Motherwell defensively so far. Looking pretty comfortable, the home team, on their 1-0 advantage.
Usually the message sometimes is, if you're playing with a big striker, you don't always have to hit him straight. I think actually Kilmarnock have to. They've got Watkins, Vassell and Anderson all playing in such a small area. They can work as a 3. They hit the straight one and then try and pick up the second ball, because just now they're all trying to work into areas that they're not quite comfortable in. That's more of a kind of number 10 midfielder role. They're trying to pick the ball up, which doesn't suit them.
Murray wins the 50-50 with Coletta. Left-hand side of the box, whipped inside. Vassell gets a great touch on it, and a really good angled shot as well from 12 yards out. It was a nice bit of football that from Kilmarnock, and down went Oxborough to make the save.
Really good pick out from Fraser Murray. He has been the one bright spark in the attacking area for Kilmarnock. Really good pick out. Vassell's worked good feet to get out his feet and then get the shot away, and good hands from Oxborough.
Just a couple of goals this season for Kyle Vassell, looking to add to that tally, and it was a neat bit of football from him as he returns to the Kilmarnock team, and of course retakes the captain's armband. Well, it's a save for Oxborough, his first of the match, with 31 minutes gone. Ndaba, left-hand side for Killie, a goal down here.
Yeah, that'll be the frustration for Derek McInnes. It's 31.5 minutes. They probably had the majority of the possession. They look a little bit more threatening in the build-up play, and it's the first attempt they've had on target.
Long ball from Lyons, headed away by Blaney, and hooked away out of play on the far side by Steve Seddon. Lyons with the throw-in for Kilmarnock. Back it goes to right, halfway line. Mayo across to Ndaba. They'll be encouraged, lifted, you would think, by at least getting a shot in on target, and it was a pretty solid save from Oxford, but it was a good effort from Vassell, who tried to just screw the shot at an angle across the goalkeeper, and the handling was good from him. Only goal of the game from Liam Gordon, as a long ball from Kilmarnock down the right side. Always looked pretty aimless, to be honest. It bounces behind for a goal kick.
I think Corey Ndaba, when he gets out to him, I think he can carry the ball. I think he is a real strong carrier of the ball. I think he can commit players, and when Fraser Murray is the outball, he is the one bit of width. He can, when they switch the play from Lyons out to Ndaba, try and double up and work something down this side. 61% possession for Kilmarnock, so the stats are pretty much telling us what we're looking at here tonight. Sometimes the stats can be deceiving, but they do tell a pretty accurate story. Lots of the ball, but not doing enough with it.
Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 0.
I think there's been lots of incidents like that where the referee blows a whistle and gives someone a free kick, and it could easily go the other way because no one really knows what's going on. Everyone's fighting for their bit of pitch. Everyone's fighting for their space and for their area, and it's making it for a difficult watch.
Good scrapping for the ball there from Marty Watkins, then played it to Brad Lyons. Back it went to Wright and Mayo, with Motherwell pressing on top of them. Out again to Lyons, and he's forced to play the ball back to Kieran O'Hara, who flights the ball out to Ndaba, left-hand side for Killie. A goal down, looking to build on there. 1-0 win on Sunday against Hearts with 10 men. Another free kick, this time given in favour of Vassell. The challenge of Dan Casey. Just maybe got a little bit too tight to the Killie captain.
Yeah, the one thing about Kyle Vassell, if you get too tight, you can't see the ball. It's always going to be a free kick because you're going to wrestle with him. So if he goes for the ball, sometimes take a step back, allow yourself to see the ball, so when he makes his movement, then you can make the tackle.
Polworth, Watson, and then Joe Wright shifting back into the back line for Killie. The ball played up to Watkins, keeps it well that time. Watson to Lyons, out on the right-hand side for Kilmarnock. Now he cuts in, takes a heavy touch, but manages to get the pass away, and it ends up with Murray left-hand side. Caleta's challenge. Back it goes, keeping the ball though, Kilmarnock. Polworth's pass not good enough, untidy, and that encourages Motherwell to get forward. But their attack doesn't last for long. Watson winning it under pressure, keeping it, and now Lyons forward for Watkins in the centre circle. Holds off the challenge, and the ball is drifted out wide towards Murray. Good control from him. As Caleta to beat, the ball goes back to Ndaba. Inside for Lyons. And now Watson. Crossfield again for Ndaba. Lots of gesticulation from Derek McInnes on the touchline, directing operations. Murray again, it's a good spell this from Kilmarnock, but it's a really disappointing cross ball at the end of a decent passage of play from them. Ndaba just floating a cross in, and all it was, I think the goalkeeper was catching practice.
I think he's got to do so much better. He's got Caleta there in a 1v1 situation. He's a strong boy, quick, moves well with the ball. I think he can do more than just kind of floating a cross in for Oxborough to come and claim.
I think you look throughout the game though. That's what I said when Motherwell changed to Wanda Maswanisi for Tony Watt. You lack that creative spark. That's someone who can go and pick the ball up in an area and can travel 40-50 yards, beat a couple of players. Tony Watt and Stamatolopoulos are just standing against three centre halves, and it's just battles and it's scraps, and it's making it for a very one-dimensional game for Motherwell because they haven't got anyone to drop into pockets and work a little bit of magic. It's just straight up and down the pitch. Kilmarnock are playing with three centre forwards, which is fine, but the only player in their team who can really eliminate an opponent with a dribble is Fraser Murray. So, in other words, you just pass the ball to someone else and hoping someone else can make something happen.
If you're wondering why we're not describing any action at the moment, it's because there isn't any. Motherwell with a man down, and looks like they might have to be making a change here, Cracks.
Yeah, I think Steve Seddon will come off. They're lucky that Ewan Wilson on the bench, who started so many games this season. I think actually the weekend was his first time he hadn't started. His form had dipped a little bit. I think Stuart was just taking him out of the team, but maybe a couple of days off, it'll just refresh him and go back in. So it'll be a straight swap for Ewan Wilson for Steve Seddon.
Yeah. And it's a great story, isn't it, Ewan Wilson, having been farmed out to Beef Juniors, among others, Stirling Albion, I think, when he couldn't get a game. And he's come back to Premiership football with Motherwell, and he's taken to it like a duck to water. And he's been mighty impressive so far this season in that left wing-back position, and that's exactly where he will be right now, replacing Steve Seddon. And you wouldn't imagine Motherwell are going to be any weaker for that change.
I think their out of possession shape's been really good. I think they're very hard to break down. I think the message that a lot of players over at the technical area, it's got to be we're so much better than this in terms of having the ball. When we win it back, we need to take more care.
Wrestling was Vassell for the ball, but very quickly into the action is Ewan Wilson, just reacting to potential danger there, and he nicked the ball away and back to his goalkeeper. And no great problem at all for Motherwell, who continue to have the advantage here of a goal to nil with 38 minutes gone at Fir Park. So I make that 7 from the interval. And Liam Gordon's goal is the only one, the first of the Premiership weekend. Another loose pass. It was Casey giving the ball away. And in midfield, high boot is the ruling, and a free kick to Kilmarnock given by Chris Graham.
I think there's a difference between having a high foot and trying to be aggressive towards the opponent than actually Lennon Miller's just put his toe up trying to nick the ball, but he's pulled his foot back very quickly. You know, that's where the referee, you talk about referees, I don't mean knowing the understanding of the game, but recognising when a player's trying to hurt an opponent with a high foot and when he's actually just trying to nick the ball.
Kilmarnock are 4 points off the top 6, that's the positive. They're also 4 points off the bottom of the Premiership table, and not at all so far this campaign looking like the team of last season. Hoping they can turn things around. They won on Sunday against Hearts, looking to win again tonight and do what Motherwell have done with back-to-back wins, but they trail here by a goal to nil. And a free kick they have on the halfway line with Liam Polworth. Polworth floats it into the box, lots of height on it, not convincingly cleared, but free kick is given against Killy, and that takes the heat, any heat that was on Motherwell off.
You see, for that free kick, there was a slight delay. There must have been a potential check for a red card, because just before the free kick was taken, Chris Graham called Liam Polworth, just wait, okay, we can go. And I mean, it didn't look that bad from here.
It didn't cross my mind.
No, it didn't. Well, it didn't cross mine until I saw him asking for play to be held up.
There might be an extra 5 seconds on every decision this weekend.
Yeah, do you think they're a little bit nervous tonight in VAR? Every chance off the back of the happenings of this week.
I think even if there was a dodgy decision or an incorrect decision, I'm not too sure it would galvanise the back page headlines as much as what Sunday has done, Rob. I think it might slip in about 6 or 7 pages in.
Yeah, for about 2 paragraphs. Dan Casey with the throw in here for Motherwell. Coletta on the touchline, clipped forward down the left side. Fraser Murray doing good work defensively for Kilmarnock there, and he's been a threat going forward. Now it is Vassell on the charge down the left-hand side, looks to jink his way back inside. Well, nice bit of skill to hold on to possession, but the ball going back the way. And now Ndaba looking to get things moving in a positive direction again, and he wins a free kick, courtesy of being direct on the ball. Free kick taken quickly, and Fraser Murray down the left side, winning a corner kick.
Chris Graham set such a low threshold for fouls in this game that it feels like every bit of contact. I mean, if the game wasn't start enough, it's not that it's solely his fault, but it isn't helping the situation.
No.
And he's encouraged both benches, because they're up for everything. They're waving and shouting and screaming, which is confusing him and making it difficult.
Here comes the corner kick for Kilmarnock, a goal down at Fir Park, left-hand side. Fraser Murray whips it in towards the back post, good delivery. It deserved somebody to be attacking that for Kilmarnock, but Chris Graham has seen a free kick anyway.
As Craggs is right, the benches, but also the players are catching on to it. So you gave it down there, that's got to be a foul, same again. And we're now getting to a stage where such a physical game, and it is a real physical game, this one. Every incident's a foul now.
I have to say, Derek McInnes had his head in his hands, and Stuart Kettlewell had his head in his hands, because I don't think he can believe it's a free kick either. But no. I mean, it isn't very often both managers agree on a certain decision. It was for one team and against the other, and they both had the same opinion.
And it was hard on Fraser Murray, because it was a great delivery, wasn't it, from the corner? Anyway, Chris Graham's keeping himself involved in the game as we enter the closing minutes of the first half, and the scoreline remains Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 0. Liam Gordon, the goal scorer, maybe the unlikely hero so far for Motherwell in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. But it's not going to be a first half that's going to live long in the memory. In fact, I think we're probably pretty close to forgetting it already. But Motherwell won't care, they're ahead.
Listen, Chris Graham's pulling Vassell over to explain his decision. He's almost as well getting both captains over and saying, look, I've started giving fouls for everything, I'm going to stop, reset from now.
But that was for offside.
Yeah, because they'd set up as if it was a goal kick, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was a free kick.
And Daba charging forward, the pass back to him was poor from Anderson. There's been so much poor passing in this game.
And that bit's not the referee's fault.
No. The ball goes out on the far side for a Motherwell throw. Just the one change in the game so far. Injured Steve Sedenoff, and Ewan Wilson replaced him at left wing back. Kilmarnock have won 5 games out of 24 this season. Just 4 wins in the Premiership. So much more expected of them in this campaign. There's a late challenge from Dave Watson. The Motherwell fans are not happy. It's going to be a yellow card for lunging in against Halliday.
I think Andy Halliday knows what he's doing. He knows he's getting to the ball first. I think he just takes himself off the ground to make sure he doesn't get caught by David Wilson. But once you lunge in for the ball, whether you make contact or not is completely irrelevant. The referee is always going to give you a yellow card. So a little bit impetuous by David Watson.
And again, the touch from Harry Payton was so careless. They turn over possession, but Kilmarnock then give another foul away. So without any good play, Motherwell have got the chance with the quality of Andy Halliday to put it in the box.
3 minutes are going to be added to the 45 we've played already. 1-0 Motherwell. Free kick for the home team coming up.
3 minutes left to play.
Andy Halliday to clip this in. Kilmarnock get it away, and the ball is fed back to Halliday again. Halliday's left foot, too much on it this time, flighted in behind, but right through into the welcoming arms of Kieran O'Hara it went from Motherwell's number 11. Kilmarnock hoping that they can maybe make something happen late on in the first half at Fir Park, but they're going to have to be considerably better, you would imagine, second half to get anything out of this tonight.
I really wouldn't be surprised to see Danny Armstrong on for the start of the second half. The attacking intent he brings from out wide, because it's not really working with the 3 strikers for Kilmarnock.
There seems to be a bit of confusion about who's doing what among those front 3 of Vassell, Watkins and Anderson. And maybe a bit of clarity required second half in what Kilmarnock are trying to do. Their only real threat has been Fraser Murray down the left side.
I mean, the risk of playing 3 centre forwards is they all probably want the same space. They all want to be the centre forward. They don't want to come into a wide area because it's not natural for them. They always want to be the out and out striker. They want to run in behind, but then they're all kind of fighting for the space. You're going to run in behind and your teammate's standing beside you, so you have to move somewhere else. So there's no real cohesion between the 3 of them.
We've added 90 seconds so far to the first 45 minutes. And Daba, left-hand side, forward it goes to Watkins to try and keep it under pressure from both Caletta and Casey. The ball goes out for a Motherwell throw-in on halfway. And we're just about into the last minute of the first half. Casey with the throw-in beyond Murray. And Daba gets there and manages to win the throw-in. It will not be a great surprise to see at least one Kilmarnock change at the interval. Motherwell not really firing on all cylinders, but doing enough here to be relatively unthreatened defensively and to have the only goal of the game so far as well. Aberdeen Hibs tomorrow, Rangers Dundee, Ross County St Mirren, Dundee United Celtic Sunday, as well as Hearts against St Johnstone. Here's where the Premiership weekend is beginning, at Fir Park under the lights. Not a thrill a minute so far, but the home team are happy with the scoreline. That's the most important thing for them as the ball is played in into that Kilmarnock box again, and Kilmarnock making a hash of the clearance. But Chris Graham, you'll not be surprised to know, has seen another free kick, and he's been all over this first half. He's certainly been consistent in giving just about every brush of contact as a free kick, and that hasn't helped. But as the half-time whistle goes, it's Motherwell who are halfway to winning a third game on the bounce, and it's Liam Gordon with his first goal for the club after Kieran O'Hara could have done better on the end of a free kick played into the Kilmarnock box, and when the ball broke out in front, it was central defender Gordon who rammed the ball home. The only thing we've seen in attack from Kilmarnock, who have had certainly Fraser Murray as their best player and their only real threat in attack down the left-hand side. He fed the ball inside, and it was Vassell who had their only serious shot on goal in the first half, an angled effort that was well saved by Aston Oxborough. Kilmarnock will hope for a whole lot better second half if they're to get anything out of this tonight in their last game before Christmas. Half-time at Fir Park, Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 0.
On digital radio,
online at BBC Sport Scotland,
or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
this is Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
What a goal!
On BBC iPlayer.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome! I'm absolutely buzzing, I am.
Oh, that's champion.
We've got Christmas sorted.
Okay, look in the sack, quick.
Can we?
Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
Oh, a Wallace onesie.
Brand new Gavin and Stacey, Gladiator Celebrity Special, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and loads more.
Well, come on.
Tidy. Christmas on BBC iPlayer.
Well, I'm not quite sure that Christmas has come early here at Fir Park. It's been a pretty drab affair, I think it's fair to say, between Motherwell and Kilmarnock. But if you're a Motherwell player, fan, coaching staff, then you will be more than happy because you are winning by 1-0 against Kilmarnock here this evening. Liam Gordon with that rebounded goal earlier in the first half. The second half live to come here on Sports Sound. Should just tell you, in the Scottish Championship, Raith Rovers are leading by 1-0 against Queen's Park. That one being played, of course, at the National Stadium. It's Lewis Jimison that's put Raith Rovers 1-0 up thanks to a goal from the penalty spot. Right, let's just have a little bit of analysis and dissecting of that one. The two Stephens are with us. Stephen Craigan, let's start with you first of all. Motherwell are 1-0 up in this one, but it's not been pretty, has it? But the only stat that matters, I guess, from their point of view, that are goals to the good.
I get that to an extent. I mean, they have to hold themselves to a higher regard of performance level. I just think it's been back to what it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. Just under any pressure, they just throw the ball up in the air. The players are better than what they've shown in the game. What I would say is they've defended really well. Barring that Kyle Vassell opportunity, probably around about the 40-minute mark, that's all they've really given away. They've been solid, their shape's been good, the organisation, the structure, how they're filling the gaps, and they're making it difficult for Kilmarnock. But there's two sides to the game, and the side that they haven't done, I don't think, well enough, is when they've landed in the ball, they haven't completed enough first passes. Sometimes when you spend quite a while without the ball, you get the ball and you want to take a break. It doesn't happen that way. When you win the ball back, you've got to show intent. But it doesn't mean just say show intent to go and try and score a goal at every opportunity. That's not possible. But even just make 3 or 4 passes, try and get a foothold in the game, because I think Kilmarnock have bossed the game with regards to possession. They've looked at a team who've tried to have more structured attacks. Motherwell are throwing it forward to Tony Watt, they're throwing it forward to Apostolos to Manolopoulos. The midfield players aren't getting up for second balls. Then when they are, they're hooking it up in the air, they're miskicking it. Andy Holladay's put a few in the air, Lennon Miller's put a few in the air, Harry Payton looks uncomfortable. If you'd watched those same 3 players in the first half against Dundee United on Saturday, it's a complete polar opposite. So I think Motherwell will want a little bit more control of the game, and that comes from just taking a touch and simplifying the game and trying to move the ball a little bit quicker.
Right, so that's what Motherwell wants, and that's how they'll try and go about things in the second half. From a Kilmarnock point of view, Stephen McGinn, I mean, in terms of possession, they're seeing lots of the ball, that they're doing some nice stuff with it, but then when they get to the final third, they kind of lose their way a little bit. What do they need to do better?
First and foremost, I don't think it'll be too long before we see the introduction of Danny Armstrong. I think he's a big player for them. I think he gives them that attacking impetus. He carries the ball well. I think though, first and foremost, the message he'll be thinking, his coaching staff, Derek McInnes, how are we behind in this game? We've spent so long in Motherwell's half, albeit not moving it quick enough, not creating enough, but all they've just kept giving away fouls, inviting Motherwell to put them in their box, and I think Kieran O'Hara's got to do better at the goal. So I think the message will be we're still well in the game. I don't expect to see the three strikers unless there's a bit of a tactical adjustment in terms of freeing one of them up. Maybe Watkins coming out to the wide and going to more of a 4-4-2. It wouldn't be long before, as I said, I see maybe Mackay-Steven, Danny Armstrong, but definitely the message, got to move it quicker, and if we're going to go with the strikers, we've got to hit them. You can't miss up the opportunity to hit three big strikers when you're playing with them.
I think, Jim, that kind of prompts you back to what Motherwell are doing, defend them well, because Kilmarnock are taking too many touches in the final third, and it's allowing Motherwell to regroup and get back behind the ball. So once you eliminate a player out of the game, you've got to make the forward pass, you've got to make the cross, because once you check out and go back again, then Motherwell retreat and it becomes even more difficult, which probably plays into the hands of Danny Armstrong. He doesn't need to go past the player, he just needs to move the ball a yard and cross it. And if the more crosses you start putting into the box, the quicker you start putting them in, it puts Motherwell on the back foot and it maybe exploits him a little bit. But as I say, once you slow the play up, they're quite happy to drop into a back five with three midfield players in front, and it's very difficult to break down a back eight.
Stephen, you said something interesting in your first answer to me about Motherwell reverting back to their old habits, if you like. Well, why are they doing that? Is it because Kilmarnock are forcing them to? Is it because there's a lack of confidence there? Because obviously last week they were doing it brilliantly.
It's probably a little bit of both with regards. Kilmarnock are playing three centre forwards, so the centre halves aren't getting the chance to take a touch and lift their head because they both have a direct opponent. So their job, Derek McInnes will have instructed their three centre forwards that one of the centre halves gets the ball, he's your man, go and put him under pressure. So Dan Casey's not getting the chance to lift his head and delay 3 or 4 seconds, which means then he's just hooking it clear, and Liam Gordon's hooking it clear, and it's suiting the Kilmarnock back three because they'll go and head everything all day long. And Daba and Mayo and Joe Wright, they're strong physical players, and they're out muscling Tony Watt, they're out muscling Stamatopoulos. So that's good tactical play by Kilmarnock. The problem they have is when they win the ball, the three of them aren't really, there's no fluency amongst them. You haven't really found a style or a position that suits either of them, and sometimes you think by just putting three centre forwards in it'll work. It doesn't always work, because I said during the commentary, they're all fighting for the same space, they all want to make the same run. Oh, that's blocked off, I better go somewhere else. Oh, something else there. So it kind of confuses him a little bit. So Derek may mix it up, he may not. But then back to the bit I said earlier, Tony Watt has done okay. He looks a bit leggy tonight. Motherwell need someone, if they're going to play deep, they need someone to be a ball carrier, and Maswanisi could be that player.
Would you be expecting, I know Stephen you've spoken about Kilmarnock making changes, will Motherwell be quick to make changes as well from your point of view, do you think?
Yeah, I mean Craig spoke about Stuart Kettlewell usually makes changes in the 60th minute. I would just like to see more. Andy Halliday, Payton and Lennon Miller are all really good footballers. It's about when Motherwell have defended that first ball, it is about just that bravery, and it's maybe getting your head up, getting that extra pass in, and they're just trying to, they're almost so narrow in terms of defending the three that it's actually working against them. There's no space and they feel like they have to help it on, but probably that in terms of we can't give up so much of the ball, especially when you think of Armstrong, Mackay-Steven, guys like that on the bench. If you continue to allow Kilmarnock to step onto you, it's only a matter of time before good quality comes into the box. So you have to be better in the ball and not invite pressure onto them.
Yep, they have to be better on the ball. That probably is for both sides as well. Some of the stats were making quite interesting reading as well. 9 fouls apiece in the first half in that one, Stephen. I think obviously in commentary you boys were having your say on that as well. It's very stoppy starting, not an excuse, but it must be hard to get into the rhythm of a game when that is constantly happening.
Yes, I mean we spoke about it, Chris Graham. You can get into a situation where the players are on it. Yeah, it is a stop-start game. It is very physical, and every bit of contact they're saying, but you've just gave it down there. You've got to give that. You're running. So it might be the half-time whistle. He sits down with his linesman, fourth official, and they just say, look, we need to let this game flow a bit more. We need to, not everything's a foul in this game, and it's probably Chris Graham to learn from it. And as I said, we're being probably quite harsh on him because the general quality of the game hasn't been up to both teams' usual standard, but it doesn't help when you're given every physical contact as a foul.
Yeah, the whole of the second half to come live here from Fir Park very shortly. But let's turn our attention away from Motherwell just for the time being and head to Naples, shall we? It's the home of Napoli, of course, and now it's the home of Scotland international Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmour. Now, the pair have been talking to us about life in Serie A and, of course, moving to Italy. And you can catch the whole interview on a special podcast, and it's now live for you on the BBC iPlayer as well. Here is a wee taster from Billy Gilmour.
For me, obviously, you've had Aaron Hickey over here, Lewis Ferguson, Liam Henson's here, Josh Doig is also. It's a great opportunity, and the league's top. For them, they've come over here and they've all done very well. In particular, Lewis Ferguson, we've all seen him and how incredible he's done. And of course, he's coming back from injury now, which is great to see. But yeah, it's a top league, and we've experienced that so far against the teams I've played, and you can see how competitive it is. And that's all you want in football, to keep pushing and trying your best and seeing how far you can go.
That's Billy Gilmour there off at Napoli. Now the Scotland international himself, and Scott McTominay, as I say, have been sitting down with BBC Scotland, and you can watch it across our output. It's on the BBC iPlayer. It's on a special podcast as well, and I fancy there'll be more to hear from it on Sports Sound tomorrow as well for you. Let's just have a quick word about Billy Gilmour. Good to hear from him. Stephen McGinn obviously embracing and loving life out there in Naples. What's not to love, of course, but and looks like thriving on the football pitch as well, which will be to our benefit, all Scotland fans everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, growing up in the 90s, Serie A was the league, and to think that we've got Scottish players dotted around the league, especially delighted Scott McTominay, I think, in a very hard time for Man United. I think he had a brilliant Man United career, really underrated, some big moments, some big goals. Turned up for Scotland, and I think both of them, they've got the top manager, and they're competing for Serie A. So it's where we want our players to be. We want them competing in the top leagues, and the move for both is they're really thriving.
Yeah, and Scott McTominay seems to already be a real favourite with the crowd as well. The way he plays with passion and a bit of aggression as well. They've absolutely loving him so far out there, aren't they, Stephen?
They are. Do you know what sometimes gets held against it? It's difficult for a young player coming through at a big club like Manchester United. You're always viewed as the academy kid who's always been there. You come through the academy, and no matter how well you play or what you do, you're always viewed as that kind of pathway through. Whereas he's now gone to Napoli and he's making a name for himself. He's a big signing coming in. Everyone's looking up to him. He's accepting the pressure. He's one of the key men, and he's responding to it. There's a significant difference mentality-wise from him, because at Man United, he was probably always the easy one to leave out. Things aren't going well, we'll leave him out. We'll take him off. We're over there, they're saying, right, he's our keeper, he's dynamic, he can run, he can get goals. Some of his passes, listen, you only see clips on social media, but he's really thriving in his environment. Just as young Scottish players in general. The Henderson brothers are out there. Lewis Ferguson, Josh Doig, Aaron Hickey was there. Jay Adams is a bit older, they're there. They're experiencing something new. They're a different type of football. It's still the same game, obviously, but just different temperament, different stadiums. It's a freshness about them all, which for me is only going to make them come back and play for Scotland and be better players for it. So the more players who can go and do that, the better.
Yeah, it's a new expectation as well, isn't it? And it's actually just a really brave thing to do, isn't it, Stephen? To go out there, to sample a new way of life, to pick up a new language as well, things you're not used to.
Yeah, and it's bits, I mean, we've been in dressing rooms where foreigners come and they really struggle with the food, where to live, and
usually the weather.
The weather, definitely, yeah. So, and at times in my kind of era, none of the young players got any sort of opportunity to go abroad. Tonight there'll be scouts from across Europe because of the success of these players and how well they're doing across the leagues, and I think it's brilliant. It's really good, and it'll bring our game on and the quality of player.
Which is just quickly, so I would love someone like Lennon Miller to go and try something different.
You preempted my next question.
Go and play in Spain, go and play in Italy. Look at Scott McTominay, look at Billy Gilmour, look at Lewis Ferguson. They're thriving. They're now talking about 40-50 million for Lewis Ferguson.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Lennon Miller's got incredible talent. Go and spread your wings and try something different.
Yeah, absolutely. Embrace it. Absolutely. You are not wrong. Right, the second half is just about upon us. Both sets of players are out there on the pitch, so let's hand back to the two Stephens and also to Rob McLean once again.
Cheers, Jane, and no change for Kilmarnock. We were talking about it, we were thinking about it. We were trying to do Derek McInnes' job for him, which is a mistake, obviously. And, well, he's going to give it another 10 minutes, probably, to see how things go at the start of the second half. And then he might well think about Danny Armstrong as someone who could make them better. They had plenty of the ball first half, but they didn't do enough with it. But still well within their clutches, this. Only a goal behind as the second half gets underway at Fir Park. Liam Gordon's first goal for Motherwell is the difference so far. It's not been top entertainment pre-Christmas, but Kilmarnock taking a direct route immediately and almost getting some joy. Motherwell got that away finally, out for a throw-in, as Kilmarnock maybe looking to make a little statement of intent here after the turnaround. I would imagine Derek McInnes has had plenty to say during half-time. In comes a long throw, and Motherwell get it clear. And Daba collecting the loose ball, and off goes Fraser Murray down the left side before tucking it back the way. And Liam Polworth pushing the ball around and finding Brad Lyons right side. Forward it goes towards Bruce Anderson. Hasn't had a lot of joy in the game so far. The man who scored a couple of really important penalties for Killie in the last couple of games. The winner against Hearts, and in the previous game, a late one to rescue a point for Kilmarnock. 5 goals so far this season for the former Livingston frontman. But those front three haven't really been too effective so far. They're getting another 10-15 minutes to prove that it can work. As we await the game getting back underway here with another long throw from Watson, which is pretty well dealt with again by Motherwell. The ball is directed back out wide towards Watson, but it was awkward for him. He couldn't control it, and it goes out for another throw in, this time for Kilmarnock. For Motherwell, I should say.
I think Motherwell probably would have expected Kilmarnock to come out at the start of the second half and go after them a little bit more, try and get back on level terms, and then really be in the ascendancy in the game. So I imagine the message from Stuart McKettlewell would have been, make sure don't give anything away in the opening 5-10 minutes. Don't give them any encouragement, don't give them any belief. Be resilient, be strong, and if I have to make changes at the arm mark, I'll do so, but make sure you don't give anything away.
Just the one change in the game so far, that was Ewan Wilson replacing Steve Seddon first half, and that was a straight swap at left wing back. And Chris Graham is not endearing himself to the fans anymore by ensuring the throw-in is taken about 2 feet further back from where it was. Down the line it goes for Motherwell. Stamatopoulos chasing, and the ball goes out of the Australian for a Kilmarnock throw-in just about 15 yards from their corner flag. Not one to get the pulses racing so far this game, but Motherwell where they want to be, ahead at the moment by a goal to nil. Vassell tries to make the ball stick, unsuccessful. Prodded forward, and down the left side goes the youngster Wilson, just couldn't quite gather it, and Brad Lyons fires it forward for Vassell to chase. Holding it up out on the right, waiting for bodies to arrive. Fired in and cleared at the edge of the 6-yard box, and on the follow-up, well, a shot at goal from Liam Polworth, but he never looked set for it, and it was well off target.
Was I reading somewhere today, he hasn't scored a goal for Kilmarnock since a Friday night last year against Motherwell, was it 2 years ago? Whatever it was.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I done the game. I think I was only reporting on the game, and he scored an absolute world end at the top corner, so there was a lot of theories going about that tonight could be the night where he could break his deadlocks. When the ball dropped to him there, I think it was into that goal as well. I thought to myself, history couldn't repeat itself, could it? And it couldn't.
Kilmarnock with a player down. Who's that down?
Marley
Marley.
doesn't look like a good one. He looks as if he's holding his groin. Danny Armstrong and Bobby Wales both sent out to warm up right away, so you wonder if that kind of change in information's enforced on Derek McInnes.
Do you know what's interesting? Because Bobby Wales started last Sunday against Hearts.
Yeah.
He only lasted 6 minutes. He was the one that was sacrificed.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have been awful in that 6 minutes because he didn't get to start the game. Yeah. You think to yourself, it's a bit unfair, but I think he may be the one. He's the one that's been dragged back. So Derek is going to persist, possibly with the 3 centre forwards.
23rd of December 2022, the last time Liam Paul was. So you were right. You were right. I think 2 years ago. Yeah.
I think it was 2-2 here.
Yeah.
Possibly it was 2-2. It was again. It was before Christmas.
Yeah. I worry when you get those stats right, Crags. I really do. I worry about you. But I mean, it's incredible, isn't it, the 2 years, because he's such a great striker of the ball and he gets into great areas, and you do expect him to score much more regularly than he does.
And not just smoke play as well.
Martin Dowden's going to join us.
Yes, it will be a change for Kilmarnock. I just saw pictures back there of Marley Watkins going into the box. It seemed really innocuous, but I think it's his groin. He might have just tweaked a little bit, so his game is over, and Bobby Wales looks as though he'll get more minutes than he did last week.
Well, you say that.
Don't jinx him.
So on comes 19-year-old Bobby Wales. A lot of excitement among the Kilmarnock fans about what he might go on to achieve for them. So he's got a chance here to lift the level of performance. No pressure, Bobby. As Marvin Coletta hooks the ball forward. Was that a high boot? Was that... Well, in the mind of Chris Graham, it was a free kick anyway. Who knows what it was for? Well, he's doing a pretty good job of killing the game so far, hasn't he, the referee? He has not helped. And he's made a bed for himself, hasn't he, by giving free kicks early on for next to nothing, and he's just kept on doing that. So I guess he has been consistent as Kilmarnock make a bit of a meal of getting the ball away out from the back, and now Motherwell have it. Well, Lennon Miller, who drives one down the middle. It was a terrific attempt at picking out Stamatopoulos. Just at full stretch to Australia, couldn't quite run the end of it. It was some pass there. You'd have enjoyed that one, Stephen.
Yeah, you know, and I was just thinking it's the first time that none of the Kilmarnock strikers were anywhere near him. He was able to get his head up, and he was really disappointed actually. I think he maybe hits it too hard, but it's a brilliant pick out and positives for Motherwell in terms of the space he had.
The ball is looking a bit like a hot potato tonight, isn't it? When it's pinging around all over the place, and players are really struggling to get control of it. And it's just a trend that's going through the game, isn't it? The players are losing confidence when the ball's played into them. It's not sticking.
It's got to the stage now, you're in the second half. Motherwell aren't going to want to change anything. They're happy with the tempo of the game, how stop-start it is. They are the ones with the one-goal lead, and why do they want to really change it and allow Kilmarnock to let the game open up?
Leathered away by Dan Casey, out of defence for Motherwell, just getting the ball out of harm's way. He had Kyle Vassell breathing down his neck, and probably the best advice is to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible under those circumstances.
I mean, in years gone by, the teams came to Fir Park. You can understand why they went Route 1, because the pitch was never up to scratch, but this is a bowling green, so there shouldn't be any excuse for players being able to get the ball under control and make simple passes, only 5 or 10 yards, just to try and build some structured attacks.
Yeah, good playing surface. There is a bit of wind, but nothing too serious. There's the conditions certainly aren't dictating how the game is being played, but it continues to be Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 0, and 3 points would take Motherwell on to 28, which would be a great place to be at for them. Kilmarnock play the ball up to Vassell. Rolls it back. Polworth floats it for the chase down the left-hand side from Murray.
Every time I come here and see the quality of the pitch, the immediate flashback is to that season they ground shared with Gretna. There wasn't a shred of grass on the pitch.
Yeah, it was a completely different colour, wasn't it? It's hats off to the groundsman here. It's looking really good. It's not hosting a terrific game of football at the moment, but the home team are in front by that Liam Gordon goal to 0. Ewan Wilson has it, left side. Back it goes to Blaney. On the right hand side, Coletta. Lennon Miller central, plays it forward. The knockdown from Stamatopoulos, looking to link up with Tony Watt. There hasn't really been a great connection between those two in the game.
That's been the biggest disappointment, Rob. Two of them have played as individuals. You're right. Stamatopoulos is feeding the ball back in for Tony Watt, and Tony's making a run round the outside down the channel. So it's just getting that fluency between the two centre forwards. There's no synergy.
Joe Wright was caught, I think, as he played away the long ball. He was caught by Harry Payton, and that's a yellow card for the Motherwell midfielder.
Stuart Kettlewell's not happy. He was never ever getting the ball. He just caught Joe Wright late, and it's the most obvious booking ever.
What I would say is he didn't follow through or lunge or put his... I think he possibly pulls out at the last minute, pulls his leg in, he catches him with his knee, possibly in the way through. So it is a strong yellow card, but I don't think there was any question it was a red.
10 minutes into the second half, Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 0. The story remains the same. And 1-0 for Wraith Rovers in the Championship at Hampden against Queen's Park. That penalty from Lewis Jameson 4 minutes before the interval. We'll keep you across that scoreline as well, as Wraith try to get themselves back into top 4 contention after a pretty poor start based on their levels last season. Tony Watt trying to hook the ball on towards Coletta. Eventually does, with a bit of good fortune, find its target. Marvin Coletta driving down the side, rolls it inside now for Watt. Tony Watt played it into the box for Stamatopoulos, looking to get the shot away. Pretty good defending from Kilmarnock. He just managed to get enough pressure on the Australian to ensure that he couldn't keep that shot down.
Well, I think the two centre forwards must have been listening to his role, because that was Tony Watt into Stamatopoulos, and it's his first real opportunity this evening, Stamatopoulos, to get the ball out of his feet and try and get a shot away. Boringly, I watched his 24 A-League goals in Australia today, just to see what kind of, just to see how he got on, and he scores from double 6-yard box. If he had another 6-yard box on, 90% of his goals come from in that area, so that's where he wants to do his work, not outside the box.
Well done, you.
I was bored.
He's beginning to get on the move for Motherwell in terms of scoring goals. He comes with a pretty decent reputation of having scored pretty much wherever he's been, the 25-year-old Australian international. Here goes Blaney, crossing halfway for the home team, rolls it in front of Wilson. Ewan Wilson's cross ball then headed away by Ndaba. Back in from Motherwell, but collected by Kieran O'Hara. That was a pretty direct bit of play down the left side from Wilson, and he wasn't hanging about, rightly so, whipping in an early cross ball.
It was brilliant from Shane Blaney. It's a bit I was saying about Ndaba not doing in the first half. Ewan Wilson's now getting the ball at the edge of the box, as opposed to Fraser Murray having to come short for it all the time.
Down goes Lennon Miller, shielding the ball there, and there was only one way of getting at it, and that was by knocking him over. Free kick given as the bodies tumble. I think Bruce Anderson tripped over the grounded Miller. I'm surprised Chris Graham wasn't contemplating a yellow card there for diving.
He is very clever at that, Lennon Miller. He backs in. His dad was like that as well, you know, big centre forward. He went down very, very easily. But he puts his body in the way, and the minute it happened, Derek McInnes threw his hands up in rage, because he knows what's going to happen. For someone so young to have that mature mindset and draw his team a free kick to get them up the pitch. But just back onto the Shane Blaney point, that's what Motherwell have missed. When Paul McGinn's been injured, they've missed one of the 3 centre halves to step into midfield. It suddenly opens the whole game up for you.
Flicked on by David Watson for Bobby Wales to hook the ball forward for Kilmarnock, the teenage sub. Up goes Ewan Wilson to win a header. Paul Worth gets it on the deck for Watson. Now Lyons fires it through. Good challenge by Blaney. Kilmarnock go again. Wales getting himself involved now. Fraser Murray, left-hand side against Coletta. It's a good battle, this. And it's won in the end by Marvin Coletta, stopping the cross. And Murray with a quick throw to Ndaba. Strong, rolls it to the byline. Murray can get there. Nutmeg, jinking his way to the byline, cuts it back. And the shot is deflected behind for the corner.
Brilliant from Bobby Wales. He does excellent to build the attack for Kilmarnock. They win a throw-in, and that's better from Ndaba. Really positive. Finds Fraser Murray. Kaleta can't touch him because he's come into the box. Good pick out and a really good block to keep it from going on target for Kilmarnock.
This Kilmarnock corner is on the left. It'll be Fraser Murray to swing it in, right-footed.
Is there a check going on?
Yeah, he's got his finger.
His hands there, yeah.
Never quite sure. He's got his finger in his ear anyway, or did. So the Killie corner kick in from Murray, and the header bouncing wide of target.
I think it was Joe Wright.
Yeah.
And I have to say Liam Gord does incredibly well, because if he doesn't challenge, Joe Wright's got a free header into the back of the net, but because his body's there, his presence is there, he puts him off and he ends up heading it wide. Yeah,
it's a great bit of defending, isn't it? It's almost as important as the goal he scored in the first half. The fact that he didn't let Joe Wright get a clean run in on the Murray corner kick, and all Wright could do, Stephen, was head wide of target.
Yeah, an amazing defending. I thought it was a brilliant delivery from Fraser Murray. Joe Wright does everything right, but Liam Gordon, I think, has been a brilliant signing for Motherwell. Really important defensive work.
Tony Watt's flick on was chased by Stamatolopoulos, unable to get there. Kilmarnock defending well enough. They need to find a bit of sparkle in attack. Plenty of time for them to get something out of this game. Wright looking to steer one down the line. He steers it straight at Payton, and Payton was down and picked himself back up, and it's won fair and square by Watson, says the referee, as the ball is threaded through for Vassell, saved by the goalkeeper. Then two Motherwell players came lunging in. Kilmarnock were looking for a penalty. The award is going to go the other way.
It's just simply Harry Payton getting caught in possession. Kilmarnock turned the ball over, and there's much more intent to their play. Ball ends up in the middle of the pitch to Bobby Wales. He drives forward. Shane Blaney actually came for a nibble, missed out on it. Kyle Vassell's in down the right hand side. He'd be disappointed he probably hasn't scored. It's a strong hand from Oxford, then all hell breaks loose. He's three players going for the ball, two Motherwell, one Kilmarnock, and it was Motherwell got the defending free kick. So if VAR has noticed something that we can't see from here, then Chris Graham may overturn it. But I have to say, he was right on the money. He was looking right down the throat of the tackle.
I did think from our angle it looked like Andy Halliday got his foot in front of the ball just before Brad Lyons. The bit I would like to see again is Ewan Wilson seemed to be out of control. He kind of dived in from the side, so very interesting to see that one again.
Well, I think we can safely assume VAR will be looking over every frame of that, but check over, and it is Motherwell free kick. They in front by a goal to nil at Fir Park on BBC Radio Scotland. The last Premiership games before Christmas, 1 tonight, 3 tomorrow, 2 on Sunday. And Motherwell hoping they can stay in front in the game and head into Christmas with 3 wins on the bounce. And they'll want to win this one because they've got a tough couple of games coming up as Motherwell successfully win a corner kick. Yeah, they've got Celtic away, then Rangers at home, as Craggs was saying earlier. So a couple of tough games in prospect for them, but they could be heading into those with 9 points out of 9. Corner kick right hand side for Motherwell, looking to add to that solitary 1-goal lead. Can they get some joy from this set piece? Well, they'll have to wait a moment, because Chris Graham is wanting a word. There's a little bit of jostling going on the goal line, nothing to fret about too much. Tony Watt was the object of his irritation there, the referee. Now the corner kick, swung in by Halliday, and he flapped at it, did the goalkeeper Kieran O'Hara, but the whistle's gone for a free kick.
It's a decent ball in as well, isn't it? We're praising Fraser Murray for a couple of in-swinging corner kicks he's had. That was a tantalising one from Andy Halliday. Kieran O'Hara done really well to get in front of bodies, but there must have been an obstruction somewhere.
I think when Tony Watts had the initial warning, you think of the amount of fouls in the game. He's get the foul for kind of bumping into the goalkeeper. You would think just Liam Gordon or Andy Halliday get away from, just stay away, because this ref doesn't need any encouragement to blow for a foul.
Motherwell have a player down.
I think Shane Blaney, is it?
Yeah.
It's the only one I can see who's not in and around the manager.
Martin?
Yeah, Rob, I just had a look back at the incident with Andy Halliday and Brad Lyons in the box there. Now, I'd seen about 3 or 4 replays and I thought Halliday just gets his foot in front, that's fine. I saw another one just after that, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he clips Brad Lyons' toe as well, so that could be controversial. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Derek might have something to say about that afterwards, potentially. 65 minutes, so we're 20 into the second half, almost at the midway point of the second half, and Liam Gordon's goal is still the only one.
That can be the problem with VAR. If you think about different angles, you're having a look at different angles. One looks like a foul, one doesn't look like a foul. What frame do you go with? Is there a preferred? Should there be one where it's just the referee's angle of what he's seen that you go with when you're not sure, when you see it from different angles?
I think unless they can tell them that he's made an obvious error, there's something clear that everyone spotted, the VAR assistant, then they won't send him over. They just let his decision in the pitch stand.
And we believed that was going to be the theory when it was coming in. We believed it, but that's not how they operate it.
Should the ref wear a camera so that we see his view?
Potentially something. I mean, absolutely, we can improve it. And maybe be an option that if all else fails, what did the referee see?
Shane Blaney still down, still being treated. So another bit of disruption to the game. It's not been a game full of flow at the best of times, but it's just about coming out on top in this one. Kilmarnock looking to build on what they did against Hearts last Sunday by digging in with 10 men and getting all 3 points, and Motherwell looking to continue what they've done both against St Mirren and against Dundee United, and that's get another win and make it 3 in a row. And what a difference that's already made to Motherwell. Have gone up to 4th in the Premiership, and suddenly the Motherwell fans will be thinking about the prospect of European football.
Well, you were talking earlier, Rob, about the last 8 games being 4 wins and 4 defeats. They've only drew 1 game this season, which was their opening game of the season. I think their last 14 they've won 8 and lost 6. So clearly, if that's the trend that continues throughout the season, you accumulate more points if you're winning and getting beat as opposed to drawing games. So I'm not sure that's how they planned it, but that's how it's worked out.
Back underway as and Shane Blaney waiting to come back on after that lengthy spell of treatment, so that's time that's going to be added on at the end. As the ball is hammered downfield by Oxborough, helped on by Tony Watt. He's won his fair share of headers collected by Stamatopoulos. The two of them couldn't be much closer at the moment. The Australian weaving his way down the touchline, finding a nice touch as well to flick the ball in towards Tony Watt, rather than letting the play run. The referee whistling for yet another free kick.
Thankfully it's nearly Christmas and the referee can get himself a new whistle, Rob, because I tell you what, he's blew the life out of it tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And we said it's because he set such a low standard for a free kick in the opening 5 or 6 minutes that managers are at him, supporters are at him, players are at him, and he's just blowing.
Free kick on halfway. Lennon Miller fires it forward towards Marvin Coletta, who made 0 contact, and the ball goes out close to the corner flag, and Koriandaba hammers it away, then goes down fairly theatrically, and noticing that nobody had taken any heed of him, he then jumped back up, having hammered the ball downfield. Martin, changes.
Few will be Harry Payton coming off and Davor Zdravsovski coming on. Tom Sparrow also will make his way onto the field. I think Stuart Kettlewell looking for a bit of freshness in there, and it will be Andy Halliday also making way.
Thank you for that. Couple of changes then for Motherwell, having brought on Ewan Wilson. First half, on come Tom Sparrow and Davor Zdravsovski. What's the thinking here, Craigs?
I think it's just to bring fresh energy into the middle of the pitch. Tom Sparrow come on against Dundee United and got himself a really good goal. He was in the team, then he got himself injured, so it's just freshness.
Tony Watt got himself in a threatening position. The ball's been gifted straight back to him. Coletta with the cross ball deflected towards the edge of the area. Watson clearing for Kilmarnock. It continues to be very scrappy. Tony Watt is heading in the wrong direction at the moment, but managing to keep the ball. Blaney plays it forward, headed away by Brad Lyons. Vassell, nice little turn from Watson, good skills from him, played in to Wales. Lyons again curls one down the line. Vassell is after it and just got too close to Blaney. He might still be feeling that injury as he goes down on one knee at the moment.
That's actually Lennon Miller.
Oh, is it?
I think Blaney had dipped in the midfield and Lennon Miller ended up at left centre half. The minute the ball went down the side, I thought he could be in trouble because he ends up going shoulder to shoulder against Kyle Vassell. He'd knock him out of the way, but again, he puts his body in the way. He allows Vassell to bounce into the back of him and draws a free kick.
Martin, more changes.
Yes, it will be Bruce Anderson coming on off the pitch rather. And I actually missed the sign there. Just maybe help me out here, Rob. I missed who was coming off. It will be 16. Kyle McGuinness also coming on to the pitch, but Danny Armstrong as well out in the wide. But I think it was David Watson that came off there, and I've missed the other one. I do apologise. Bruce Anderson it was. I thought it might be. I was writing my match report there, Rob. Sorry about that.
Exactly. We're all looking forward to reading it later on. We're all looking forward to you getting through 3 paragraphs to describe what we've seen tonight. But anyway, 1 goal in it. Liam Gordon scoring after Dan Casey's header to come back off the post. And it's 2-0 Wraith, by the way, in the Championship. And Connolly with the second goal, adding to Jameson's penalty in the first half. And that could be an important win tonight, Stephen, for Wraith Rovers, as they look to get themselves back to where they feel they should be in the division.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a really tough afternoon. I was through at Falkirk for their game. They really weren't at it at all and took a real sore one. They're so much better than that. They've got much better quality, and the win in the derby last week was big for them. I think they've taken a lot of confidence from that, and it's been a really impressive result tonight.
I wonder if Danny Armstrong can have a big influence here, the influence that Derek McInnes hopes he will have for Kilmarnock in these late stages of the game. Still plenty of time, and it's Armstrong to the byline, and he fired the ball across, and it's gone behind for a corner, and it does feel as if he might just light the fuse here for Killie.
Yeah, really bright start from Armstrong. But change of formation as well. Kilmarnock, I think they went to a 3-5-2. Brad Lyons came into midfield alongside McGuinness and Polworth, and Danny Armstrong just came into that right wing back. And it's something for Motherwell to think about down both flanks now.
Corner kick, right hand side for Kilmarnock, looking for an equaliser. In it comes from the corner. Motherwell being tested here now defensively, you would feel, as the ball is fired in, scrambled away. Lyons knocks it down, and it's a decent angled shot at goal, which produces a solid save from Oxford.
I think Bobby Wales should score.
Yeah, he's got to score.
Just from looking at here, the pace on the ball coming in, all he needs to do is make contact with it, and it ends up in the back of the net. It's a huge let off from Motherwell.
Fired across goal by Fraser Murray, and all it was needing was a touch, a couple of yards out. But they're looking a bit more threatening at the moment, Kilmarnock, and you haven't said that for much of the game. In comes another Murray corner kick, a flashing header, a Motherwell head at the near post, and it goes into the side net, and it will be a second corner in quick succession. Played out towards the edge of the area. Kilmarnock looking menacing here, and it's gone in for the equaliser. And it's Liam Polworth, that long-awaited Polworth goal. He's waited 2 years to score, and it's the goal which levels things up at Fir Park. Oxford got hands to it, but it was struck with enough power that it flashed past the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Kilmarnock have their equaliser. Those changes have paid off for them, and they're back on level terms.
Absolutely. Since the introduction of McGuinness and Danny Armstrong, they've played at a tempo they've not played at for the full game. Danny Armstrong's been a huge player for them, really influential over the last couple of years. He has brought that buzz, that energy that he brings, and Kilmarnock have really looked threatening. I think Oxborough's got to do better. I think he can do more, but not to take it away. It's a well-worked corner. Liam Polworth gets his first goal in 2 years.
Yeah, it'll be worth looking back at that again, because he got a decent hand, I don't know, one hand or two, but he certainly got gloves to it, but unable to keep it out. Liam Polworth is certainly not complaining after 2 years without a goal. He's back on the scene and delighted to have made the scoreline 1-1, and now the complexion of course changes, and here's Fraser Murray looking to do more damage down the left side. Deflection on his cross ball, and it goes through fairly comfortably to Athen Oxborough. What did you think of the goalkeeper, Craigs, on the goal?
Well, I think when Liam Polworth strikes it, it's possibly the inside of his foot.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike through the back of the ball with lots of power. He just kind of cushions it towards the net, and for some reason Oxborough looks as if he was down low and he palms up into the net. But all the momentum is with Kilmarnock now. They're really in the ascendancy. The body language has changed. Motherwell haven't been good enough in general play throughout the game. I've said that, but now Kilmarnock have the players in the pitch that can affect the game. Free kick
from Motherwell, midway inside the Kilmarnock half, as they look to reassert themselves, the home team. That equaliser coming as a blow, and it just encourages Derek McInnes's team to believe that they can maybe get all 3 points out of this. 1-1 at the moment. Free kick 15 yards in from the touchline, left-hand side, curling in from Lennon Miller, cleared by Vassell, and Kilmarnock have a player down, and so we will have a delay here. Joe Wright was the player on the deck.
He's gotten a lot of stick, Chris Graham, but for all the decisions he's made, I thought even the free kick he gave, I thought was never a free kick. If Joe Wright goes down holding his head, what's he meant to do? He's got to stop the game.
Yeah. I just think on that occasion, if you're holding your head, then the physio should be allowed on the pitch, because clearly you think there's been a head knock. That's for everybody else. It's not just for Joe Wright, because it means then the play gets killed, and then Kilmarnock managed to get off the pitch.
14 minutes to go. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1 at Fir Park. Is it going to be a point apiece for these two, or are we going to get a winner? Kilmarnock are looking a lot livelier at the moment than they've been tonight. That whistle is a constant feature in the soundtrack tonight, and a red card is being held aloft by Chris Graham.
I think it's for Dan Casey.
Motherwell are about to be reduced to 10 men. Well, Kilmarnock have seen their fair share of reds this season. Are they about to benefit from a red card being shown to the opposition? There was plenty of blasting on his whistle from Chris Graham as he approached the Motherwell player there. He's at the moment explaining why he's held that red card aloft. Martin, have you seen more than we have?
Yeah, I've seen pictures back. So Dan Casey and Armstrong, or Casey's rather, walking away from Danny Armstrong. Armstrong grabs him, Casey turns, and he appears to grab him. It appears to be by the throat, and I think that's what the referee Chris Graham is saying, a straight red card for grabbing him at the throat. I've only seen it once. I'm not totally convinced it was the throat, but I will see a replay in a moment.
Chris Graham's obviously got a better angle. I didn't think it was a throat. It looked as if it was a bit of handbags. It looked as if it was a yellow.
I thought he grabbed
both.
the jersey.
Yeah, so
just to throw him off.
Well, VAR are running the rule over it at the moment.
There you go.
And he's coming to the monitor, and it will not be the surprise of the season if Chris Graham has to reverse his decision here.
That back, I have seen that back, Rob, but he does grab his shirt. It looks as though he moves his hand up towards his throat, but he has definitely not grabbed his throat. In fact, you could argue Armstrong sort of instigated the whole incident in the first place, so I would expect this to be overturned.
Yeah. Chris Graham running across to have a look at the monitor. It's in the shadow of the main stand, and he's getting plenty of feedback from the Motherwell fans at the moment. Maybe not just about that decision, but his whole performance tonight, which has been a little bit over-officious all the way through. But this is a big decision now. Is he going to leave Motherwell with 10 men, or is he going to say, I got that wrong, and he's going to change the red card to yellow? He's still head down over the monitor. Here he comes.
No, he's stuck with his decision. He thinks it's a red.
Yeah, it's off for Dan Casey. Motherwell will finish this match with 10 men. And, well, fair play to the referee, because clearly VAR and David Dickinson were saying to him, you need to have a think about this. You have to consider that that was a yellow card offence rather than red, but he's stuck with it, and trudging towards the tunnel is Dan Casey, and that will further lift Kilmarnock, Stephen McGinn, on the back of their revived form.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from a Kilmarnock point of view, and Derek speaking before the game about wrong decisions going against them, they've got away with one there. We've just watched it back. It's never a red card in a million years, but they have to make use of it. For far too long this season, they've played with 10 men and suffered, so they've been given one, and they need to make it pay.
Into the last 10 minutes, and clearly Stuart Kettle organising a defensive reshuffle now for Motherwell, who will look to do what Kilmarnock did last weekend, is and dig in. On that occasion it was Killie holding on for a 1-0 win. This time maybe Motherwell at this stage would happily sign for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I think they would do, but they have to regain their composure. The referee's made a decision. I agree with Stephen. I think it's completely wrong. He grabs his shirt. Derek McInnes has been in this position. His players have been in this position. You just got to deal with it. You can't impact what's happened. You've got to focus on what's ahead. Make sure now you don't lose the games all about Motherwell.
They're going to have to make it. See right away, Danny Armstrong so high and wide, Fraser Murray so high and wide. They're going to have to make the pitch big, but Joe Wright and Lewis Mayo have to move it on quicker. Get these wide players on the ball.
And Daba's pass goes astray as Kilmarnock look to make the numbers work, look to make their numerical superiority pay off, and that's sometimes just about being calm and not getting overexcited about being 11 against 10. Motherwell would happily keep what they have, which would be an unbeaten run of 3 games, but Kilmarnock will have the bit between their teeth now and feel that they have every chance of going on to win this. We're on 82 minutes. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1. Liam Gordon's first goal for Motherwell cancelled out by a first goal in a couple of years for Liam Polworth. And it's Lewis Mayo in possession to Corey Ndaba, left-hand side. He continues his run, he gets the ball back from Fraser Murray. Powerful run this from Ndaba, who forces it into the box. Nice touch from Vassell. Down he went, but it was a fair enough challenge. Motherwell scramble it clear and just look to keep the ball, but they're a little bit panicky at the moment, Motherwell, and maybe a little bit disorganised after the dismissal of Shane Blaney, which has reduced them to 10 men, but it's a good surging run forward by Ewan Wilson, linking up with Stamatolopoulos, and he wins the throw-in, and they just have to use their game intelligence at this stage. Motherwell, with the scoreline at 1-1, they're going to make a couple of changes now as well.
Yeah, Rob, it will be Moses Ibaye and Tawanda Maswahise just coming on to the pitch. Not yet clear who will make way. I'm not sure if there's a problem with the board down there, actually. They're taking their time over this on the touchline, or maybe Stuart Kettlewell's involved in a little bit of gamesmanship here just to take the temperature out of this one. The board does now. It will be Tony Watt making way. Initially, they struggled to really get into the game, as you were alluding to earlier in the commentary team. And it will also be Apostolos, and I'll leave his surname to you because I get it wrong every single time I attempt it.
I think he is Apostolos to his friends, to be honest. Stamatolopoulos is coming off, so both strikers give way. On comes Moses Ibaye, and Tamanda Maswanise, and that's fresh legs. It's in the forward areas. It's also a chance to disrupt the game for another few moments, as Motherwell hope they can manage this through. But it's 10 against 11 for them after the sending off of Blaney, as the ball is hooked forward, and those two Motherwell shots will have an instant chance to make an impression. And there was a cynical foul there by Joe Wright, and the Motherwell fans were on their feet hoping it might be a red card, but it's yellow, and it's a free kick just outside the penalty box.
Well, that's what happens when you push too many men forward. All it takes is one long ball over the top. Maswanise, he's got blistering pace, so if Kilmarnock leave that exposed, all Motherwell have to do is just feed him down the line. It wasn't a red card, it was reckless from Joe Wright, no doubt about it. He lunged it just to stop the attack, but there was plenty of recovering defenders, so the referee's got that one right.
It's almost at the left corner of the penalty box. It's going to be Lennon Miller to take it. It's just a yard outside the area. Is he going to try a curling, dipping shot here, or is he going to try and set something up? It's certainly an opportunity to have a crack at goal. It's Lennon Miller with the right foot. Great effort. It brushes the net, but it's the side net on its way wide of the post. But that was a brilliant effort.
I think it was always drifting wide. The goalkeeper left him a lot of space to aim for, that's for sure. He got enough whip on. I'm not too sure he got enough power. But yeah, it's game on.
And Daba fires the ball forward, looking for Vassell to get involved. They need to be clever, Motherwell, but they've got a good attack going here. And the two subs giving them fresh legs, revitalising the team. And when the ball was slipped across goal, it was a great cut-out at the back by Kilmarnock to get that away. It looked very promising for Motherwell, and their chances of going in front again. And the two subs are being, and Maswanise having an instant impression.
Brilliant from Maswanise, just picking the ball up, gliding with it, committing defenders, and he's really brought the crowd into play, who feel the injustice of the decision, and they want to will their team on for this point.
In the Championship, Queen's Park have got a goal back. Queen's Park 1, Wraith Rovers 2. Queen's Park were looking tonight to get into the top 4 and move past Partick Thistle, but they're still trailing by 2-1 against Wraith. 2-1 there, 1-1 here, and it's 10-man Motherwell. Crossfield from Armstrong to Murray. Behind him is Ndaba. Now Wright stepping into the midfield, right-hand side. The ball is swung in by Armstrong, and Motherwell get it clear. They know they're going to have some serious defending to do. Murray looking to get down the right side. Good challenge.
I don't want to feel like I'm picking on Ndaba, but I feel they can do so much more, especially now that Motherwell went down to 10 men. Danny Armstrong hits a really high switch of play to Fraser Murray, who's having to concentrate and bring it down. I think Ndaba can just take off. There's no winger to pin him back. They have the extra man. I think he needs to be so much braver in his attacking play.
Less than 3 minutes to go at Fir Park. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1. And it is Motherwell on the attack at the moment. The ball is swung in and headed away by Ndaba. Armstrong tries to get there, doesn't get a good touch on it. Maswanise and BA combining at the edge of the area, looking to get a shot away. Kilmarnock stop the attack, and Brad Lyons fires the ball forward. And Vassell at the edge of the box on his left foot. The shot is blocked. He's claiming handball. Chris Graham not interested. Kilmarnock claiming for a penalty. Play goes on. Murray's cross ball in. Vassell trying to get on the end of it, all the way across to Armstrong on the other side. Danny Armstrong jinking in the byline. His cut back is blocked and cleared, and Motherwell hanging on in there at the moment to this 1-1 scoreline.
It will all depend on the position of the arm. I think it was Liam Gordon when the strike comes in. It did look as if there was a lot of distance between strike and hitting off his arm. But no, he's a great. I mean, Derek McInnes was adamant from the halfway line, so I mean, I wasn't convinced with his reaction, but clearly he's trying to influence.
He did have the perfect view though from about 75 yards away, or so he will claim. Kilmarnock have it on the byline with Armstrong, rolls it back. The cross is blocked. Then it's Lewis Mayer who hoiks the ball into the box for Kilmarnock in search of a winner, the Rugby Park team. The ball laid back out towards Armstrong. Jinking his way inside. Clever back heel. Lyons fires it across goal. Stabbed away by Liam Gordon. Heading fast towards 90 minutes. Then it's a question of how much more. Kilmarnock looking to make 11 against 10 pay off. The ball fed back to Ndaba. Into the box it goes. Motherwell get it clear. We're going to have 8 extra minutes. So plenty of time for 1 point to turn into 3. Ndaba to Murray, left-hand side for Kilmarnock. Liam Polworth with the equaliser. Can they find a winner? Switched across to Lyons, right-hand side. Infield it goes. Looking to get the ball to Armstrong as much as possible down this side, but it's Motherwell breaking forward with Lennon Miller. There was an opportunity to play the ball out right side, the challenge by Joe Wright, and now it's swinging down to the other end, and Lyons, who plays it in across to Vassell on his right foot, shot blocked, breaks back out. Lyons again looks to work it onto the right foot, and in the end it was Fraser Murray who had the shot at goal. It's high and wide.
Chris Graham let the game play. He played the advantage. Really good pick out from Brad Lyons. Kyle Vassell just looked as if he couldn't get there in time to get it in enough control to get his shot away. Roll back, Kyle McGuinness skybound with his shot. And it isn't very often we say Lennon Miller's made the wrong decision, but he should have released the ball a little bit early. He does really well, driving over the halfway line, ends up 3v3, takes an extra touch. Joe Wright turns the ball over, and then Motherwell are on the back foot.
90 seconds added to 90 minutes so far at Fir Park. And tension in the air among the Motherwell fans. Their 10-man team is hanging on here. They have shown a bit of brightness in attack when they have got forward, with the two subs combining really well. But Kilmarnock will reckon there are maybe 1 or 2 more chances for them to turn this game on its head. Motherwell having been in front, of course, when Liam Gordon scored in the first half. Liam Polworth with the equaliser for Kilmarnock second half, and it's Kilmarnock who are in possession now with Lyons. Gives it to Armstrong against Wilson. Managed to feed it through for McGuinness. Lyons again looking to play it to the byline for Armstrong, maybe a little bit too clever, and now Motherwell on the break, and a rugby-style challenge from Kyle McGuinness will mean yellow for the Kilmarnock substitute.
That was more of an assault than what Dan Casey's was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was literally round the waist. I mean, it's not violent because you're never going to hurt him, but I'm just saying it's very, very cynical. Really cynical, but again, Maswanisi. It's been a real handful. I actually think his debut was against Kilmarnock in that League Cup tie you were talking about.
Yeah.
And he was bright and he was lively that night. And he's doing the same again tonight.
And Stephen, it's good to see you bonding closely with the Motherwell fans as well in front of us here.
I think he wanted the mic to say what's the difference between that and the Casey red card. But we spoke about Danny Armstrong's impact in the game. Maswanisi, he has absolutely grabbed this game to the scruff of the neck for Motherwell and really brought an energy to the crowd and got the crowd involved in the game.
Well, the James Martin, no, you're not. On his coming, Rory McKenzie. Was it Liam Polworth who went off? He's probably in shock at having scored for the first time in 2 years. It's a goal at the moment that is going to give Kilmarnock a point, but they're still fancying all 3. Still time as Lennon Miller from Motherwell fires a free kick forward. Can the 10-man team find a winner? It's a great ball in from the the right side into that area of uncertainty, and off his line came Kieran O'Hara to grab it before BA could get there.
It was an incredible ball, I've got to say, from Marvin Calera. But because Motherwell are down to 10, they don't have two strikers in the pitch, or up the pitch. So because the BA held out, it meant there was no second striker to come in and get the tap in, but it was a great ball.
Fraser Murray on the touchline, left-hand side, back it goes to Ndaba, then it's going to be Lewis Mayo to fire it across to Brad Lyons. He's looking for Vassell, intercepted by Lennon Miller, but all he could do was slice the ball behind, and Kilmarnock are going to have a corner, and we've added nearly 5 minutes to the 93 to go.
I think you just sense it's coming. That last passage of set plays that led to the goal, corner kicks, Motherwell were really outnumbered. Kilmarnock were aggressive in their approach, and I don't expect anything different.
In comes the corner kick, late on at Fir Park. Motherwell defend it well enough. Kilmarnock work the ball back out wide for Armstrong. Deflection on his cross, stabbed away, not too convincingly. McGuinness is there as Kilmarnock look to fashion a late opportunity at Fir Park. Good driving run from Mackenzie, and Kilmarnock force yet another corner kick. They're piling on the pressure here in search of a winner.
Not only Casey's one of their best headers of the ball, he's a real big loss for them in terms of these set pieces. Kilmarnock need to just keep putting it in the money, keep working it round the box, and make that height advantage pay.
We're heading towards 96 minutes at Fir Park. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1. In comes the cross ball, and it looked inviting as Kilmarnock threw bodies at it. Mackenzie swings in the cross ball from the right side. More good defending from Motherwell, and they have the break on here if they can get bodies forward. Scurrying back is Lewis Mayo to get it away for Kilmarnock as they suddenly found themselves on the end of a Motherwell counter. Lennon Miller with an angled ball. It's just slightly over hit from him, angled into the box, and it would almost set something up. In comes the cross ball from the left, diving header away by Joe Wright. Onto it is Vassell on the halfway line. Down he goes. It was shoulder to shoulder with Ewan Wilson.
That's not a free kick, never in a million years.
No free kick. So Chris Graham's got that one right then. But here come Motherwell with a last play, looking for a winning goal for them, for the 10 men, and it was a decent ball in as well, but in the end it just bounces behind for the goal kick, and we've now added 7 minutes to the 90, so 1 plus some loose change maybe to go, and it does look as if this is going to end in a share of the spoils. Brad Lyons with the ball out on the right side for Killy, who will feel frustrated against 10-man Motherwell late on. They haven't been able to find a winning goal, and a fairly aimless ball down the left side will be mopped up by Aston Oxborough, and we're almost at that full-time whistle. One last chance from Motherwell to unload the ball downfield. A miscued header by Ndaba might just get Motherwell interested. Back went Brad Lyons to get a touch on the ball, and it's gone behind, and it will be a last-ditch corner kick for the home team, and maybe a chance to win this in the most dramatic fashion. Corner kick, left-hand side. There will be not much time for anything else after this. 1-1 as we speak. Is it going to finish 1-1? '98 minutes. Lennon Miller's corner kick, punched away by Kieran O'Hara. The clearance completed by Kyle McGuinness. Motherwell looking to get the ball back into the box, but there goes Chris Graham's final whistle. It was pretty lively, the closing stages, and maybe Motherwell, it is many opportunities as Kilmarnock to turn 1 point into 3 right at the end, but it does end in a 1-1 draw at Fir Park. Liam Gordon scoring his first for the club in the first half. Both goals pretty momentous when you think about it, because Liam Polward's equaliser for Kilmarnock in the second half was his first goal for 2 years, which is hard to believe. A side footer when the ball was cut back to him. It did look savable. It's one that's worth looking back at, because although Aston Oxford got gloves to it, he was unable to keep it out, and despite the efforts of both teams to try to get a win out of this, it finished all square. And it's a point for Motherwell that takes them on to 26, 2 points ahead of Dundee United going into the rest of the weekend Premiership games. And it's a point for Kilmarnock, which takes them a point closer to Dundee. Kilmarnock move on to 18. It got quite exciting in the end. It was never the beautiful game tonight, and it finishes all square. Motherwell 1, Kilmarnock 1.
On digital.